Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Hope your week is going well. We're going to go ahead and get started. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This is the fifth in our webinar series, where we have been going over the different chapters in my book, Addicted to Life, How I Went from Homeless to Extraordinary Success and Happiness, Your 8-Step Formula of Achievement. I want to assure you that we're not going to do a marathon today. I recognize that everybody's in the middle of their workday, and we're mindful of that. So we're going to keep it short and sweet. I think we're going to run anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so Addicted to Life, How I Went from Homeless to Extraordinary Success and Happiness. Bear with me a second. There we go. So this is the different chapters of my book, what we call the 8 building blocks for Addicted to Life. Chapter 1, you've got to be done. Doesn't matter what your wall is, what it is that is stopping you from growing and achieving and becoming the best version of you that you could possibly be. Whatever that is, until you say, I am done, until you announce to the world and to yourself that I am done with that person that's running my business, that doesn't have the role of running my business, with that relationship that is not up to par, with that weight that has control over me, with that lack of a social life or lack of a spiritual life, whatever it is that has got you stopping from growing in any one of many areas, you've got to be done. You've got to say, I am done. Then you've got to get uncomfortable and take action, right? Anything that is going to have us growing is going to have us uncomfortable in order to change that. So getting uncomfortable and taking action, because the world doesn't care what you say. It's heard it from you and hundreds of others in the past that have done absolutely nothing. It's all about taking action, right? You must, talk is cheap is where that comes from, right? So chapter number 3, building block number 3, you must create the wave of momentum, right? It's going to be action upon action upon action that gets us the results that we're looking for. And, Zig Ziglar used to say that character is the ability to follow through with a decision long after, or commitment, long after the feeling that had you make that decision or commitment is long gone. That's his definition of character. So it's about character as we create that wave of momentum. And then chapter number 4, you have to prepare now for what's coming, right? We've got to continually be working on ourselves more than we are our job or our business, is what Jim Rohn, the way that Jim Rohn puts it. I love Jim Rohn. We'll talk more about that later today, but you have to prepare now for what's coming. Chapter 5, which is what we're going to talk about today, is you've got to be open. You must be open to the unexpected opportunities, whatever that might be, because they are going to come, and it's likely going to be some very, very unlikely messengers that bring the unexpected surprises, the unexpected opportunities. Chapter number 6, you won't always feel like you're winning. We're going to talk about that next week or two. And I share in my book the story about my wife and I's marriage wasn't going as well as it could, although we had a season of summer in every other area of our lives. That one relationship that what had me not feeling like I was winning really took away from all of the positivity that was going on in the other areas of our lives. So we're all going to experience that. It's not all going to be summer times in every area all the time. Chapter 7, building block number 7, you must understand the law of exposure. The law of exposure says what I expose myself to, I will become. Period. We'll talk more about that when we get there. And then chapter number 8, you won't do it alone. I think we all have heard it before. Most of us subscribe to it, but success is a team sport. You will not get to the level that you want to get all by your lonesome. It's going to take the assistance of a very, very powerful team that you surround yourself with, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's employees or whether that's outside vendors. It's going to take a team to get us exponentially above where we are today. So I wanted to, we talked about chapter 5. We're going to do that. I want to say the difference between where you are right now and where you will be in 5 years will be the books you read, the podcasts and CDs you listen to, the webinars such as this that you attend, and the people that you meet. You know, I love technology, and technology has made it so easy to be able to access whatever information that I want to access. For those of you that aren't on podcasts, I want to encourage you to, I use Spotify for my music and downloads, and I pay a monthly subscription for that. And that may be old news for a lot of you, so bear with me. But whether it be Spotify, that you pay a service to, whether it be a free version, which Google has a free version. I use their podcast tool as well. Download it to your phone. It's free. And then go searching through the different categories, whether it's business related, business specific, such as I own and operate auto repair shops. There's auto repair podcasts available as well. There's real estate, there's success in general. There's so many different categories. It doesn't matter if you're a housewife, an astronaut, an auto repair shop owner, a pet owner. There are so many different categories that you can learn from. And the nice thing is, if you've got Bluetooth from your phone to your car, and you just hit play while you're driving down the road, and you can listen to downloaded podcasts and delete them when you're done with them. You can listen to them on the airplane. You don't need access to the internet if you've downloaded. It is a phenomenal resource. So seeing things that do not exist as though they do is an essential part of anyone's success. You can't just go on what you can see. I want to be perfectly clear about that. You've got to step out in faith. We all do, for what you believe will be. And this is what will separate the high achievers from the crowd. Preparation, which is what we talked about in chapter 4, is what makes this possible, like we talked about in that chapter. But being open to the unexpected will also play a major role in achieving our goals. In fact, it'll determine if we're serious about our goals or not, because quite frankly, when that opportunity comes along, if you have prepared, whether or not you're willing to step out in faith and be open to the unexpected and act upon that unexpected surprise is what's going to separate the high achievers from the mediocre. We all know that, right? So a lot of you know Richard Broadwater. When I worked for Richard, and after I had been there for 5 years, I had achieved a lot of things. For those of you that know my story, I had gotten rid of the probation. A lot of things were taken care of. And quite frankly, I had achieved what appeared to be a pretty good level. Why I didn't want to rock the boat. Why work that hard again, right? And I say to you, what a waste of gift and talents it would have been to have stayed there and just not even stepped outside my comfort zone and challenged myself to go to the next level. I want to encourage all of us to continually be stepping outside of our comfort zone. You've heard me say it before, outside of our comfort zone is where life begins. And I just want to encourage all of us, that little nudge that we all need to push it to the next level, right? So I say to you, you've achieved a level of success. A lot of people that I know that participate in events like this have won the money game or in the process of winning the money game. There's so much more to what God has in store for all of us that is way outside of even the money game. It's all about the gifts and talents that He's given all of us. You all have gifts and talents that I don't have, and vice versa. I can't do what you can do, and vice versa. We all have that one thing, if not more, that God has mapped out for us, for our lives to be, what we're all about, what our mission on this earth is for. So to act like we have an endless amount of time to get that accomplished would be crazy. So I just want to encourage everybody, step out. This is my father, Bob Rowsell, back in 2004. My father was the one that tested me when he came to me with the suggestion that I move to California and buy a business. He saw in me the changes that I could not see. Okay, I had built, like I said, what felt like a perfect life. I had all the probation and court stuff behind me. I had a few years sober by that time. I had a little money in the bank. I had some toys. You know, us boys need our toys, right? It's a truck that I still have to this day, as a matter of fact, that tinker away at from time to time. We had our new home that we had just moved into. I was working in ministry. My weight was under control. I was no longer smoking cigarettes 4 packs a day. Life was good, right? But what a waste of gifts and talents staying there would have been. And God knew that. He used my dad as the messenger for me to make a decision and to act upon that and step out in faith and be prepared for the unexpected. It changed the whole trajectory of my life. Me being open to the unexpected when it came along. Opportunities don't wait. Okay, opportunities to take our lives in any area that you can choose to the next level is never going to have a perfect time for that when they come along. Ready or not, here it comes. Here comes the opportunity. You better be open to the unexpected if you're going to experience extraordinary success in a short period of time. Even in a long period of time, you better be open to the unexpected. The unexpected opportunity for you may not be to purchase your first business or to open your first business. It might be to meet the mate of your dreams. It might be to share your faith with someone who asks you what you believe. Shouldn't we be prepared for that? It may be an investment decision where you need to intelligently analyze the returns that the presenter is promising you. That's another one that would be pretty good to be open to that unexpected, right? Or maybe it's a career move where your phone rings and it's concerning a resume that you submitted 2 years ago. Wow. What about that being open to the unexpected? You better be ready. Are you open to the unexpected opportunity that might come along? You better be, right? Of course. It's going to be scary, of course. Welcome to life. Anything that we attempt that's worthwhile will scare the heck out of us at first, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Why do you think that the highway to the next level has no traffic jams, guys? Because it's an elite club that unfortunately very few are willing to pay the price of admission to take that road, to be prepared. I have good news though. There are no restrictions on who may join this club. It doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter how tall you are, doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a gal, anybody can get into this elite club. You just got to be open to the unexpected, right? So there's a mentor of mine, Jim Rohn, and he says the only requirement for membership is a willingness to change and to grow. Jim Rohn, as I said earlier, he talks about you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. This will have you open to the unexpected. I will tell you, for those of you that have not plugged into Jim Rohn, some of you, this is old news, but for those of you that haven't heard Jim Rohn, he has a phenomenal life-changing CD set called Leadership Weekend 2004. Jim Rohn is no longer with us. He passed away in 2009. But he's very, very well known for his philosophy, for his words of wisdom. The 24 CD set has numerous speakers on it. It's a weekend that he put together back in Anaheim back in 2004. You can find the CD set with the videos to accompany it and the workbook for probably $50 or less on Amazon. I paid $300 for it. I paid full retail. But as I sent other people that were smarter than me looking for it, they found it on Amazon used. And I will tell you, it is an absolute life changer. It's a once a year listen to set. And he has numerous sets available and numerous books that are all phenomenal. That's one that changed my life, and I promoted that to many, many people whose life it has changed as well. So I want to encourage you, Leadership Weekend 2004, Jim Rohn, as well as a number. Brian Tracy is on there, and a number of other speakers as well that accompanied him for that event. So to continually be working on yourself, gradually molding yourself into the person that you need to become is what will have you open to the unexpected when an opportunity shows itself. As you change People's view of you will change. Your circumstances will change. And the opportunities that become available to us all will change as well. It's an amazing, amazing phenomenon. So why do you think my father, who 5 years earlier, prior to his coming to me, was hesitant to even allow me to stay in his house when I visited him from Arizona? Why would he call me 5 years later about the auto repair shop being for sale? Because over that 5-year period, I had prepared for that phone call. By working on me, I was open to the unexpected, guys. You couldn't possibly handle knowing all the things that you need to learn all at once. This is an elephant that needs to be eaten one bite at a time, okay? You can't do everything. None of us can, but we can all do something, bringing us to the next level. You must be open to the unexpected and preparing for that, doing a little something that gets us closer and closer to the comfort level that we need to be at when that opportunity comes along is the key. And you can do whatever that something is today, is what this slide reminds me of. So I encourage you, buy the book, CD set that we just talked about, download the podcast, sign up for the class, do the research, find the mentor. Whatever the next step is for you, take the action step today. It's an investment in you that must be made to be sure that you're open to the unexpected when the time comes. I personally believe that the Lord rewards that action tenfold. I've lived it. I don't have to have faith to believe that. I want everyone that is on this call today to pick an area of your life, whether it be your marriage, your role as a parent, your social life, your health, your spiritual life, which is your walk with God, of course, your finances, your education, your business, your career, your community involvement. I want you right now. I'm going to challenge you all. We're going to take a break right now. I want you to pick one, and I want you to write it down. One of those areas. And I want you to write down underneath it one thing that you can do this week to move that closer to what we call your ideal scene. You've got your current scene, you've got your ideal scene. If things were ideal in that area, whatever area first came to mind is probably the one that you feel the most convicted in. I want to encourage you to write down that area right now, whether it's marriage, career, business, leadership, whatever the role is. Write down that role and write down the one thing that you could do. Maybe I've already covered it. Maybe it's to download the podcast listening tool and start scrolling through some podcasts, not during this call, of course. Maybe it's to order that CD set, Leadership Weekend 2004. I don't know. Whatever it is, I want to stall long enough right here on this slide for each and every person that's on this call to write down one thing. Just one thing, one area, and then underneath it, one thing that you can do to possibly move the ball down the field, as we say in the football analogy, to get closer to the goal line and being closer to your ideal scene. If you haven't done that yet, I just want to encourage you, pick up a pen and a piece of paper and do that, and just join me in bringing things further down the field, okay? You've got to keep persisting even when it doesn't appear that there's any progress, guys. There's going to be times we don't feel like anything's happening. This is what will have you open to the unexpected when it does come about. When the time comes, when the unexpected event takes place, you will not be taken by surprise. This I can promise. As a matter of fact, you're going to wonder what took so long for the opportunity to come along. You'll be unstoppable, feeling confident about your performance and abilities. You'll be the seasoned pro that you need to be. You'll walk away from circumstances and conversations and say to yourself, dang, you were awesome. How do I know this? From personal experience, of course. And I know there's some ideal scenes in your life today that if you look back upon, it's only through you being open to the unexpected and preparing are you able to walk away from those situations right now today saying, dang, ooh, you were awesome, right? So we've already proven that, most of us have, in a lot of areas of our lives, that we need to continue in new areas or even those same areas going to the next level. So I just want to remind you that this is not a dress rehearsal, this is life. And the clock is ticking. You must be open to the unexpected. I look forward to hearing your stories of success, how you were open to the unexpected when it came and you conquered. You're putting yourself in a position to win so that you don't close your mind and miss out. This will be the key. Now that you know this is one of the secrets to success, you won't be so quick to dismiss a presented idea or the messenger that God uses to deliver it. He uses the most unexpected messengers, doesn't he? With this principle in mind, our opportunities will be endless, right? And so will be your successes, right? I also want to throw out a friendly reminder. We have an all-in community called Addicted to Life All-In Community that is designed to drill down a little bit deeper, actually quite a bit deeper, on the 8 building blocks. We meet monthly. It's not that much money. Hop on my website, which is robrowsell.com, and click on the Access the Community button. And we'd really love to see some of you enjoy that community and get the benefits of that community. And I look forward to hearing your stories of success, how you were open to the unexpected, took massive action, and your life is different because of it today. So thank you very much, guys. I hope this has been beneficial and an encouragement to all of you. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.